Going on to my Capricorns. So you have the Temperance, Four of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, the Magician, Nine of Swords, King of Swords, the Hanged Man. Okay, so for you Capricorns, I'm seeing that some of you Capricorns need to kind of manage your own temperament. Some of you Capricorns are very upset about not necessarily finding the people that you want to be with. The temperance represents having to learn to manage your temper, manage your anger, right? Temperance, learning how to manage your temperament, your anger. Okay, remaining patient. The Four of Cups, because this is the process of dating. This is what happens when you have people who are stupid. And what I mean when I say stupid, I mean immature, and they don't want to learn from their mistakes, and they want to get over on people through usury. This is what you have, okay? So yes, dating people before you get to your right one will be a little bit of time. And yes, you will have to require a certain amount of patience. The Seven of Pentacles, even though, right, and let me go ahead and say this too, there is also risk. A lot of times people out here, they don't want to take risks. I can't tell y'all how many times situations I've been in where I'm speaking to people about how they can make the way that they approach relationships better. And they're coming from the perspective of they don't want to go up and talk to somebody. Well, relationships are a risk. That in on itself is exploitative. The mentality of you don't want to go over and talk to somebody, so you only want somebody to come over and talk to you. And again, this is what I'm trying to say. Why would they choose you? So you're already starting off of the rip incorrect. It's already, unfortunately, it's already a stupid mentality to even have. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, you do need to be patient when it comes to dating. Everyone does. If you're going to call yourself dating, you do need to be patient. You do need to have a certain level of patience. Yes, absolutely. You can't just immediately, if you're talking about long term, if you're talking about short term, then whatever, just protect yourself. If you're talking about long term, yes, you have to get to know the person. Yes, you will end up meeting people who are dysfunctional and end up trying to waste your time. This is the reason why you prepare yourself over here on this channel by learning the games that people play and learning the games that people play and understanding it so that you don't think that there's some form of hope coming to you, and that when you decide to actually leave the relationship, you're leaving for good, and you know why you're leaving for good. So the thing is that the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles represents, so you want to make sure, okay, so the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles is about how it is that you want to make sure that you and the other person happen to be on the same page. If you and the person are not on the same page, then obviously that's not the type of relationship that you would want to go for. Well, how do you know the person is on the same page? Well, first and foremost, you have to take risks. This goes right back into managing your temperament. Managing your temperament. When I refer back to the whole intimacy thing, people was tripping out. And like I said before, this proves my point of to what it is I'm saying when I say that people trying to play games and they're being disingenuous. When I say intimacy, I'm not just talking about physical intimacy. I'm also talking about sharing and caring and sharing of yourself, letting the person in, letting the person get to know you instead of being hardened and battle ready and disingenuous and warlike. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about only physical intimacy. And people who play games, they like to play keep away with that. They like to play keep away with the intimacy. So when I say stuff like a month should go by, and at that point, you should have enough understanding of the person, I'm also talking about on one level, because remember, this comes in layers, that um you should at least know of the person from who they are internally, get some form of some sliver, some little bit of understanding, some sort of um, sample of who they are within that month to now go to the next stage. If you don't want to do that, you shouldn't be dating, or you know what I mean, or you being basically, and you're being exploitative, or you just shouldn't date. Now, when it comes to you Capricorns in particular, what you Capricorns are doing is you want to make sure that yourselves and the other person happen to be on the same page. How do you make sure? Like I said, taking risks and getting to know the person, asking them questions, experience, going through things with them. If these are people who cannot do what they say they're going to do, and maybe they're not saying anything, they're not telling you what they're going to do at all, but they're only doing things, okay, then that's also something that you should watch out for. Because in a healthy relationship, people talk. Healthy people who are in healthy relationships, there are actual discussions back and forth as to how the relationship is going to go to the next level, you know. So that's one indication, and then wait to see if there's any kind of action if the two of you talk. If the two of you don't have a discussion and they're just doing things, you're just doing things, then that's how you know that the relationship is a dub. You should essentially leave it, because what's going on here is, this chair is not comfortable, but too much. But I'm gonna replace it. But what's going on here is that you and this person who are in a functional relationship will have discussions, talk about going to the next level, talk about going to the next stage, continuing on with the relationship. There will be report cards, so to speak, like, oh, do you want to continue being in this relationship with me? Is that something that you want? What's going on? And there will be dialogue back and forth. And then there should be some form of action afterwards. That's how you know you and the person are on the same page, right? But that's true, but what most people do nowadays is, oh, well, this, that, and the third, and this, that, and third had happened, and this, that, and this, that, and this, that. Okay, but was there any kind of serious discussion in the interim between these stages to get the two of you on the same page to understand where, or have some sort of idea as to where the relationship stands? No. So then the relationship that you're in is fake. So that's how you can tell, Capricorn, if someone is on the same page with you. The Knight of Swords, the Magician, and the Nine of Swords, right, is about how just the Knight of Swords, the Magician, the Nine of Swords, pay attention to, like I said, if they're willing to actually reciprocate their words and have, I'm ahead of myself. I'm ahead of the reading. And just pay attention to that type of stuff. The Magician, the Nine of Swords, and put it like this: you should not have to worry your head up about if you and the person happen to be on the same page. Okay? If you're worrying about that, then if you're worrying about whether or not you and the person are on the same page, and if the two of you happen to be in a relationship and where the relationship is going, even if you Capricorns happen to be in a relationship right now, per se, and you are worried about where the relationship is going, that means that pretty much the relationship is over. Okay? If you've been through a lot, if you tried to get therapy, if you tried to do this, try to do that, right? Couples therapy and all that stuff, try to do this, try to do that. And obviously it means that the relationship is over, because the options have been exhausted. There's only one thing left to do, which is to essentially break up, right? So stuff like this, that's some of the things that you want to look out for. The Magician represents, and if the relationship happens to be going down or going south, then it means that you need to take responsibility and leave this relationship alone. Just because this person is doing this dysfunctional stuff to you does not mean that you do not have a responsibility. You are responsible and are held accountable. There's no running away from accountability. It's one of the 4 pillars of how the universe works. If you don't have accountability, you don't have life. So good luck trying to breathe without responsibility, but whatever. Excuse me. It's cold here in New York. But the situation with that is that so you're still obligated to leave. You still have a responsibility for yourself to actually leave the situation, right? That goes for any of you Capricorns that experience this in the future and any of you Capricorns that are experiencing this now. Sorry, I was just checking something. The King of Swords and the Hanged Man represents how, because people are not going to be good to you. People are not just dysfunctional people who are in the game, who is caught up in games. They're not going to just be good to you. They're not just going to come out and just give you their heart. Here you go. Take all of me. Dysfunctional people are by definition dysfunctional. So you can't expect dysfunctional people who are, in essence, who are spiritually compromised, their character is off, to now somehow have honor. Honor is an offshoot of having character. Honor is an extension of character. It's an extension of dignity. So, which is a character trait that people have. Now, if a person doesn't have that, right? If a person doesn't have that, then it means that I don't know why it is that you expect these individuals to be in that situation in the first place, where you expect these people to do right by you, right? So you need to understand that they don't care. They're not going to be as good to you. The people specifically who play games are not going to be good to you the way that you'll be good to you. Okay? That's only reserved for people who are in functional relationships, because people who are in functional relationships, those people will be considerate to you. But if you're looking to turn somebody around who is dysfunctional by definition, they're not going to turn around. They have to get their butt kicked by life in a very serious way. And even then, there's no guarantee. This is why it is I tell y'all, ego is not your amigo. LL Cool J said this. And LL Cool J is a Capricorn, as a matter of fact. But LL Cool J said, a few days ago actually, but LL Cool J said, ego is not your amigo. Humility is a superpower. So let's clarify some cards. Let's clarify the Magician. Let's clarify the Magician. Okay, so you have the Page of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords, 7 of Wands. This is a situation for you Capricorns where, again, and you'll know when someone is not necessarily on your side, because everything to them will be a setup for you. Everything will be about humiliating you, tearing you down, treating you like you're trash. So 2 of Pentacles. So there's no debating it. There's no, well, should I leave this person? No, there won't be any of that. And the 5 of Swords. This person too, when it's time for you to dump this person, or you already do, whether it's for future references or something that you're going through now, right, at this current time, right? This is about how this person will tell you that they didn't care about you and all this other type of stuff. So you Capricorns really don't have to worry about if a relationship, how do you know if a relationship is going well or not? Because the person isn't interested in playing games with you. You'll know a good relationship is real when you and the person are having discussions. When you and the person are having serious discussions. Yo, Capricorn, I like you, Capricorn. Do you want to move this forward? because I've dated a couple of Capricorns. Do you want to move this forward? I like you. I really do. I want to continue to move this forward. What are we? Do you want to be? Do you want to be my person? Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, then we go together. You understand what I'm saying? If you're not having these types of conversations, okay, and having physical intimacy on top of that, and on top of that, sharing bits and pieces of your life, your personal time, quality time, spending time together, that's not a relationship. If the person is just coming over, hanging out, and then leaving, and then now it's, but what are we? And they're not saying anything, or they're saying things like, we're just cooling it right now. You're not in a relationship. The Seven of Wands represents, so this is also about you Capricorns having to do yourself a favor and get out while you still can. Let's clarify the Hanged Man. Try it one more time. The Ace of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, and last but not least, the Nine of Swords. Right. To clarify the Hanged Man. The Ace of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles. Right. You should essentially leave, because this is just more evidence. They're not going to stop scapegoating you. They're not going to stop blaming you for all types of stuff that doesn't even make any sense, because there's too much cognitive dissonance there. And what I mean is they're at war internally with themselves of not being able to trust you because of past relationships or things that happened to them in the past, but then at the same time, them liking you. So that type of internal battle that that's happening inside of them, they will start to project, they will start to blend the two conflicting ideas that they have about you, themselves, and the relationship together that are inaccurate or not true, which is what we call projections. So the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Swords now is, you should not have to worry about if the relationship is real or not. I already told you how you can know when the two of you happen to be on the same page. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. If you found value within this reading, then it means it's time for you to come get a personal reading from me. There's a link in the comment section called the link tree. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website, okay, in which it has my social media outlets and ways in which you can financially support me, from the books that I have that are on Amazon, my clothing store, my Instagram page, as well as my website for private tarot readings. Click on it where it says private tarot readings or Amazon book. It'll take you directly to my website, in which you can purchase a private tarot reading, a wealth course, relationship course, or a birth chart reading from me. Tells you how much time you get, the prices, a description. It even has a buy now button, in which you can click it, because it is clickable, and it will redirect you to PayPal, and you can fill out your information. Or if you want to send me any kind of donations, if you want to come get a reading from me, but you don't want to use PayPal, I am using Cashapp as well, in which you can always feel free to use my Cashapp cash tag. So, and if you need any more help, then contact me at Kareemspiritworks@yahoo.com. Right now, I'm trying to make my YouTube channel grow to 10,000 subscribers by the end of June. Right now I have 6,232 subscribers. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit that notification bell, set that notification bell to all, so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos.